another episode. Hey, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode. This is a live episode of Natural is Health. Now, we haven't been really live for a while, but we're here active and live now to bring you about information that can drastically change your health situation. You don't have to continuously suffer with health issues, suffer with disease, not not knowing what's causing your illnesses, your discomforts, why you're not repairing, why those headaches are lingering, why that cold and sinus won't disappear. These are not questions that you will have to continuously have if you learn our teachings on natural hygiene. Now, natural hygiene is the science that we teach. I'm your teacher of natural hygiene, Ferrante Frazier. I am not a medical doctor. Let's get that straight now. Not a medical doctor, so nothing in my teaching is going to tell you about medicine, herbs, remedies. So I'm not even an herbalist. I'm not even those ones claiming to be a cure monger. I'm not a cure monger by any of the terms. But what I am is a teacher of righteousness, or a teacher of right living, holistic living, natural living, upright living. So I just want you to be able to shift your thought patterns to get out of the curing mentality. You can't cure anything. There is nothing outside of your body that can cure disease. Disease is the process of curing. Let me get you to understand that. Your disease is the way your body cures itself from some type of habit that you brought into your environment, that you caused on your own self, in your own living, in your own indulgence, or whatever the situation might be. It might even be an environmental condition that weakens your body to the point where your body no longer can get rid of waste. The waste build up and start irritating cells and tissues. Those cells and tissues start breaking down, degenerating, metamorphosizing, and you got suffering. You got disease. You know. So the sneezing, the coughing, the diarrhea, all those are ways your body rid itself of that excessive waste. So when we go and start trying to fight those diseases, we're interfering with the cure. Your sneeze is the cure. The cough is the cure to a clogged throat. Diarrhea is the cure to putrefying waste in the colon. So all our symptoms of disease are really nothing but the cure of disease. So why do we fight it? Why do we struggle every day to fight disease? But that's not our topic today. But I just want you to understand that I am not a medical doctor. I am not a herbal doctor, any of those so-called cure mongers, like I said earlier. So if you're looking for a medical doctor, you got the wrong show and you got the wrong channel. And I advise you to go seek you a medical doctor. If you think medicine is the cause, lack of medicine is the cause of your problem and only medicine can cure it, then you need to go see a qualified medical doctor. And if you believe the lack of taking herbs and remedies is causing you to be sick, then you definitely need to get in touch with a herbal man or a remedy man, and let him prescribe you the drugs that you seek. Our approach to health is one that is required for even the sick one to obey and the healthy one to obey if he wished to stay healthy. If he stopped getting fresh air, if he stopped eating properly, if he stopped exercising, if he stopped sleeping, if he stopped getting fresh air, stopped getting sun exposure, then he's going to become sick. And if the sick man start getting fresh air and start getting adequate sunlight and start getting more rest and start eating more healthy foods, then he's going to become well. So the same conditions that cause a man to become well is the same conditions that keep that man well. And that's what we teach. We don't believe in the hocus pocus, all the remedy do's and all type of things. So that's where we're going at with our lessons. If that's not the approach you want to take, and you rather sacrifice limbs, sacrifice organs, and sacrifice longevity, then by all means, reach out to these palliative drug doctors and these remedy drug doctors, and they'll definitely be glad to take your money and give you drugs. So this is February, right? And we're coming to you with these live shows going to be coming in. This one that we're doing today is about fasting. Fasting is nothing that I can sell you. Um, any doctor you go to, he's going to sell you drugs. That's how you make money. All right. There's no other way that he can. You don't go to him for nothing but drugs. You go to him to buy drugs. It's nothing else you go to him for. Treatments and drugs. That's it. You go to the herbal man for treatment and drugs. Same thing. That's all they can sell you. But the true way to health can't be sold. You can't buy it. You can't bottle health. Health is something that have to be obtained from your life living. You have to live in such a way. Oh, look who do we have on the show now. You had me worried there. We can't hear you. I can't hear you, rather. Make sure you're unmuted.
I said I'm with you, Doc. I've heard. I've been here from the top.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to just run down a little bit more, and then we're going to get into the show in a minute. But anytime you want to chime in, I have no issue with that. But what I was explaining to our viewers that there's no such thing as a cure. The cure is that's the disease. Disease is the cure, and that, if they continuously go out here and palliate and suppress the symptoms of the body to eliminate waste via many, many, many routes that it chooses. They keep saying that this disease is one disease and this is another disease and caused by something else and caused by this and caused by that. Well, all diseases caused by a buildup of poison in the body, which we call toxemia. Now where that toxemia tends to express itself to get out of the body, well, then that's what the doctor named the dis-ease. That's where he categorized symptoms and he labeled it as cancer, as lupus, as tonsillitis, as whatever itis, or some other so-called you'll say brand name disease, because that's what we call them, is brand names. It is, they just brand name it where they can conveniently give you medicine and conveniently treat you. I was telling them that in our line of work, we don't treat anybody or anything, and we don't have anything to sell them. Like even what our show is about today, which is fasting, we can't sell nobody a fasting pill or a fasting drink or some. We don't have no treatment to help you fast, except for just telling you about the benefits of the fast and share experiences like you're going to share about your experience of fasting. We do have Miss Diane that's going to be in our next show where she's going to talk about the 40-day fast that she just completed a couple of days ago with success. Now, it's a couple of times she called me, had some little issues that I had to work with her and talk her through, but hey, it turned out fabulous, So that's something to look for coming up in the next show. But before we get started, and when we start talking about this fast, because I know you know a lot about fasting, and I want you to definitely share with our viewers about fasting and how fasting can, like Dr. Shelton would say, fasting can save your life. You know what I mean? It can actually save your life if you can just put that spoon down or put that fork down or back away from the table, and save that energy that you're wasting on food and let your body use that energy towards healing. There's a saying that used to be in our church where the pastor used to say, "Don't let your spoon dig your grave." And that's what a lot of society is doing right now. The standard American diet is digging the graves of many people right now. And what we're eating right now, the diet that mankind is trying to live on, has never been, experienced nowhere in history. You don't see mankind going into all this manufactured food, even though they ate toxic in medieval days and ate a bunch of meat and drunk a bunch of wine, but never eating this GMO, genetically modified or bioengineered food, or foods that just ain't even food, bunch of preservatives, dyes, and this is just new stuff. So we're actually scientific rats right now, trying to experiment and see what our diet that we're eating today is going to show us in the future. And we're already seeing it because look, some of us are dying off faster than our parents. Our parents are outliving us because they didn't grow up on all this addictive, additive, and preservative food like we're doing. They ate wholesome food. But here we're trying to live off of Pop Tarts and honey buns and things of that nature. So if you wanna share anything, I know you burning to let something out. So I'm gonna let you say something, and then I'm gonna and not about the fasting. We're gonna go in that in just a minute. But you can hit on anything that I just said, and then I'm gonna go into a couple of words by Dr. J.H. Tilden, which we're gonna call that the Proverbs of hygiene. Like Proverbs in the Bible, where a bunch of wise sayings. So we're gonna listen to the wise saying of J.H. Tilden. So we're gonna call that Proverbs. We're gonna go into the Proverbs of hygiene. But I'm gonna yield the floor to you for a second and go ahead and run down some good stuff there.
Okay, well, I think I got about a minute's worth, about a whole 60 seconds. Doc.
It's okay.
Just listening to what you were saying about the one disease and the fact that the disease is the cure, and that we have allowed the medical mentality to teach us that there is a pill for everything. I think you also mentioned about the suppression of symptoms,
Hmm.
and that's just, I mean, it's the way our society is. It's the way the society works. I would encourage viewers, if they haven't already tuned into something else, because what you said is, if you're looking for somebody to, sell you a pill to help your ill, then you're on the wrong channel, and you would send them
Yeah.
on to where they were looking for. But no, I think you should stay. If you haven't already left, please, please do stay, because there's not a better term, I think, to say than brainwashed by the SAD diet, the standard American diet. You were talking about how eons ago, how people ate, and even though they did eat meat and drink wine, and they poisoned themselves in that way, there was no GMO and things like that. They didn't have a Food and Drug Administration. So I
Right.
think for your viewers, for the listeners, I think it's a point to ponder that the Food and Drug Administration is just one administration and not a separate administration. Um, okay. last last time, Doc, I think it was the whole
Internet.
internet, and now
Right.
this time is the light. Let's see if I can find some natural light. But not to belabor the show, the Food and Drug Administration, you've got they're in charge of. That's a little bit better. Thank
Yes,
you.
that's better.
Um, they're in charge of your food, but then they're also in charge of your drugs. If you're a student of health in any way and have decided to take your health into your own hands and heal and physician heal thyself, then you know that it is our food that is killing us. It's the food that we're eating. In addition to the environment, I know you said that too, Dr. Frazier, the
Yeah.
environment, the air that's around you, the cleanliness of the home that you live in, how much sun you're getting, and those things. But a big portion of this health industry and what you're being fed through this multi-billion-dollar industry of health and wellness is the standard American diet, and then um, what then comes along with that and how you can change some things. I could go on and on, Dr. Fish, because that just leads me down the rabbit hole of how you can be vegan and still be sick, and how you can be a
Right.
vegetarian and still be sick, and
Right.
those things. So it's a whole industry there. But what
And
we've
why
been taught,
fasting sometimes can't even cure some people because they lack other, conditions. But go ahead. I apologize.
because of the other conditions. I think I'm already off track. I just want us to really think about the fact that our Food and Drug Administration is one administration, and if you're seeking health, then you have already learned that it is the food that we eat, large in part, that causes us to have the diseases. Well, then the same administration that allows those foods is the same administration that then regulates the drugs that you take, that pill for every ill. So the food gives you the diabetes, and then the medicine is supposed to help you with your diabetes. It-
And
I
take you
can't,
right back to the food.
which
It gives you a
it's a
like
cycle.
a atonement where you can go back to
Right,
eating the same
right,
food that is
right,
producing the same thing that's going to need you to keep with the pill.
right, right. So that's just what that my only point was. I don't think that people should change the channel. I think that,
Right.
you should stay here, stick around, and listen to what natural hygiene has to offer, what natural health has to offer, and then talk. Be here to hear people talk, to meet people who have walked a hygienic path,
Hmm.
people who practice natural hygiene on a regular basis, and to understand that health is not just food.
Hmm.
To be whole, this is holistic practice, this holistic teaching. So there's a whole 10 principles, and I guess that leads right into um, the the
The
proverb.
proverb.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Michaela, y'all. Y'all who don't know Miss Michaela, she is a advocate of natural hygiene. She's been practicing hygiene well over a decade now. She's my business partner. Me and her have been out here hitting the ground floor in Savannah, Georgia, spreading the word like it was the gospel of the Bible, telling people that the body can heal, that the body can heal.
it
We've
it,
been
it is the gospel of the Bible, Dr. Fraser.
You see what I mean when she say that?
Yeah.
But we used to hit the ground floor running, and we still are. We're able to spread out a little more and teach people and help guide people. I hear people coming up all the time saying, "Hey, I heard about natural hygiene." Well, how? And I know most of the time I've never talked to them, but they're hearing about that the body heal itself. This is a momentum that's spreading like the virus that they are saying is spreading. It's the only thing that's contagious is knowledge. It's going to spread. So we're spreading this information about health. We're spreading this information about eating right, about drinking right, about getting sunlight, by going out and getting exercise and maintaining normal temperatures, and having positive people around you and not them toxic people that drain all your energy. So what we'll do is I'm gonna read one of the proverbs, and just like a good minister of the Bible, I know you done stood up there and gave a sermon before, Michaela. I want you to break it down for the people. I don't know if you see the two guys that work together where they be out there teaching and the other one be reading and he be at like, and the other guy be breaking the scriptures down. So we're gonna break the scriptures down, Dr. J.H. Tilden scriptures down as we go. All right. So
Okay.
we're gonna start off in the book of Proverbs of natural hygiene, and we're gonna start at verse 1. It's chapter 1. It says, "We are builders of tomorrow, and we need not pay a fortune teller, a doctor, a lawyer, a preacher, or a banker to tell us what will happen tomorrow. The inevitable will simply come. We shall inherit the fruits of our today's sowing." That's a powerful proverb right there. You need me to hit that again for you?
Well, I think I might got it. Um,
Okay.
well, so I mean, what I hear is you don't need to ask anybody else. You know what you're sowing. You know what you're doing. Truth of the matter is what you put on your body, what you put in your body, what you put, and that's through any channel, through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, on your skin. It will determine what you do. What you do today will determine your outcome for the future.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
if you a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips is what the ladies used to say.
Yes, 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 yes. Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard the breakdown right here. Only right here have you heard the wisdom of natural hygiene, proverb, and then the breakdown by our great minister, Michaela, of hygiene.
Crazy.
You've been ordained. You know that, right?
I see. I see. Yes, sir.
All right, so we go
Amen.
into verse 2. All right.
Okay.
The body is strong or weak, as the case may be, depending entirely on whether the nerve energy of the elimination of tissue waste, which is toxic. The blood becomes charged. Hold on. Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me start that over. My eyes started crossing on me a little bit. All right. The body is strong or weak, as the case may be, dependent entirely on whether the nerve energy is strong or weak. And it should be remembered that the functions of the body are carried on well or badly according to the amount of nerve energy generated. I know you got that right there.
Right. So, um, you're doing good or you're doing bad based on your vital energy, based on are you plugged into the socket? Where's your energy level? If you've got high energy, then you're doing great, you're doing good, and you're able to eliminate. If your energy is low, then yeah, you're feeling bad. You're down. You're not eliminating. Your body is not readily getting rid of those toxins. It's not working as it should because the body's energy is low or depleted or diminished, or but you're certainly not operating at your full potential. And it is simply based on whether you feel blah or whether you feel great. It's simply based on your body's energy level and its ability to assimilate the poison out of the body.
We can use something as simple as looking at a kid racing his car. He go and charge up his car. That car run fast as I don't know what. He able to make it flip and do all kind of stuff. But when the battery power, the juice of that car start dwindling down to very low levels, then the car start moving sluggishly. He can't do no major tricks with it no more, anything like that. Well, the same as
Mhm.
with the human body. When the
Mhm.
vitality, that nerve energy, and the nerve energy is a low grade of functioning power that is generated in the body that is allotted to every cell and tissue. They get that energy. But when that energy level is low, then the body can't function right. Your kidneys can't kidney right. Your liver can't liver right. Your heart can't heart right. Nothing can do right without power. And when we have high power, then the heart beat properly and efficiently. When the body has energy, then the kidneys can filter properly with no problem. It's not crying out in pain, because it's getting the power that it needs. But when power is lacking, the body is lacking, and then toxins tend to build up. There's no elimination going on in that case. You said that well. All right, so we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna do two more, and then we're gonna go into our commercial. And when we come out of the commercial, it's all about fasting. Then you about ready for that?
I'm ready.
A lot of people don't want to hear about fasting, Miguel. You know what I'm saying? That'll kill you. Fasting can kill you. They say. If you
Yeah,
go one
yeah.
day without eating, you kill yourself. They say.
I'm gonna die.
You
Can't
know,
do it.
according to their teachers. Now and those are the ones that saying that have never went a day without eating. They never tried it, and they never were taught. In school, like they don't teach fasting in school. Now, however, if you come into the hospital unable to eat, it's nothing wrong with not eating in there. If you can eat, and if you're under a coma or something like that, they don't stuff a chicken leg down your throat while you're in a coma.
No, but
Anything like
they'll show put a feeding tube in your doc. Let's get to number 3.
after a
Let's get to
while.
verse
It
3.
it take a little while for them to do that though. Okay,
Verse
let's get to
3.
number 3. Innervation. Now, a lot of us don't know what innervation is, so let me just break that down before we go in there. Innervation is low functioning power. It's when that's like fatigue. It's like ultimate fatigue, where your body no longer have power, just like your phone when it's in the red, under 5%. That is what we're calling innervation of the body. Your body is on red. You need to be plugged up. All right, so innervation per se is not disease. Weakness, lost power, is not disease. But by causing a flagging of the elimination of tissue waste, which is toxic, the blood becomes charged with toxins. We call this toxemia, poison in the blood. This is the actual disease.
So where we were in number 2 was you felt blah, you were down because your energy is low. So being innervated is having that, like you said, being in the red, and that itself is not disease. What happens is because that energy is low and the body is not able to do its normal do. Like you said, the heart's not hearting, the lungs aren't lunging like they're supposed to. So then because of the low energy cellularly, the optimal processes of the cell are not happening, which means that they are not eliminating. So the low energy causes the body then to not be able to go about its cleansing processes and eliminating processes, to cleanse the blood. The blood then remains toxic and is circulated to the organs, which then makes the body cry out in its weakest part.
Yes. Pain, irritation, inflammation, and all kind of other Asians, ulceration, induration, mutation, degeneration, all the Asians. You know what I mean? All that happened,
Right,
all because of the
right,
poison in the blood. The body
right.
can't get rid of the poison. Wow. Okay, number 4, and then we're gonna go to our commercial. Because we
Okay.
about halfway through the show already. We halfway through the show already.
Okay. All right.
All right.
That was fast.
I know, eh? All thanks to Our Black Media. They are allowing us to have this platform to get
Awesome.
this information out. We've always tell them about our brand that we put out here a long time ago, Michaela, Savannah Natural Health and Crying in the Wilderness. That's our
Hmm.
brand. When they hear that, they automatically know it's us coming. You know what I mean? All
That's
right, so
right.
number 4, the toximic philosophy is founded on the truth that there is no such thing as a cure. In this, it differs from all the so-called curing systems. This cannot be grasped by all minds until time for thinking has allowed the ideal to soak in. Convention and superstition have the floor right now, and they are unwilling to sit down and listen to the hygienic side. Many learn slowly, others not at all, and still others are put to sleep mentally by the truth. I know that was a lot there. If
That's
you
a
need
lot.
me to,
That's a lot and very deep.
yeah.
So you'll have to correct me or at least guide me in the right direction. So we're asleep. I think is what that's saying. It's about having a woke movement, and the fact that some of us are going to hear. I see that's biblical to me because
Hmm.
that's the seeds of the truth that are planted, or that fall, by the roadside, and then the wind blows, and some is blown away, and some grow up, but only grow so far. You'll gain and understand. There are those that are not going to listen to the truth.
Hmm.
Um, for whatever their reason, because they are and have been indoctrinated with the falsehood that they believe are in fact the truth, or like superstition or religion or just being taught in other ways won't allow you to hear. And then there are those who will need to see, like yourself, a living testimony, a living epistle that natural hygiene, natural health, it heals the body, it reverses disease, it causes health and vitality to exist. It's difficult. It can be difficult for people to understand that when the only thing they've ever known is if it hurts, you take it to the doctor, and the doctor will give you a pill. Um, you'll have to elaborate, Dr. Frazier.
You said it in a nutshell right there. I mean, I couldn't say it no better. Now I can add a little something to about the first part. You
Okay.
know, there's every other mode of healing has a remedy. They got something to sell you. They got a pill, they got some treatment, they got some type of therapy or something like that. But natural hygiene in the toxemia theory puts the matter in your own hand, that there is no cure. The cure is your disease. Well, then if the sneeze is my cure, then why am I taking something to stop the sneeze? If the diarrhea is my cure, why am I taking something to stop the diarrhea? If my sickness is due to the symptoms that my body is putting out, why should I stop the symptoms? To stop the symptoms is erroneous. And if if natural hygiene is false, then every other mode of healing is true. And if natural hygiene is true, then every curing mode of healing is false, because you don't want to interfere with the body healing itself. That is the cure.
Right.
There is no such thing as cures per
Right.
se outside of the body. The body cures itself. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to let
Well,
our producer
can I
take us
say
into a
can I
commercial. Oh,
say
go
something?
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
we gotta go. We gotta pay some bills. I just wanted to say that it's about responsibility. You have to take responsibility. You have to decide who you're gonna be responsible to. Are you gonna be responsible to yourself, or you're gonna be responsible to the mental health, the community of medical professionals who basically sell drugs.
Yeah, they sell a bunch of drugs. All right. So we're going to take it to a commercial and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Natural is F. I'm your host, Dr. Ferrante Frazier, and this our hygienic minister, Michaela. I'm gonna use that. You know, I'm gonna keep using that.
I
Right.
like it. I like it. I like it. You are allowed to use that. I was just thinking in the break, Dr. Frazier, um, that yeah, I remember it coming up a lot when we were out here, talking to people about health and helping people to heal themselves. How it came up a lot that these principles, these 10 principles, they are so absolutely necessary and all together because
Hmm.
the fourth proverb is really about your mind not allowing you to take control of your body. So
Mm.
sometimes it feels like that should be the place to start is breaking down the mentality that says I gotta go to the doctor or I need a pill or um, I don't have to be responsible for my lifestyle habits. I should be able to smoke these cigarettes and never get lung cancer, or I should be able to, you know, smoke these cigarettes forever and ever and not have an issue.
And go take a
Then you
pill or
get
go
the
take
thing,
chemo.
or do, or have to do something like that. I don't have to be responsible. You can just come in with chemotherapy and radiation and
Right.
erase everything that I did when what you really should just do is stop smoking.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I just thinking about mindsets. Okay, I'm ready to
But
talk
we
about
have
that.
so much. I'm about to go into the fasting, but we have so much going on. I even want to put a little bit of that in there. Right now we having a bunch of erroneous information being taught out here. Like, everyone is trying to teach health now. And no one is teaching on sound principles, though. I mean, you got people coming up talking about, salt is a cure for all types of health issues. Salt, a protoplasmic poison that would kill us or burn us if we put it on a cut, put it in our eye. It causes irritation. It causes inflammation on the body. you know, Not only that, I've had a person who was telling me to eat fruits and vegetables will kill me. Eating fruits and vegetables is the cause of diabetes, is the cause of cancer, is the cause of every health issue known to man. This is what the guy is telling me. And he went on to tell me that we have to eat a huge amount of meat. We are carnivores by nature and we only supposed to eat meat. That's the only way we're going to heal. He said he was able to heal his cancer by eating meat, only meat. He stopped eating fruits and vegetables and stuff. It
Raw
sounds like
meat?
a AI or somebody, what I'm saying, some artificial intelligence sitting there sending out wrong information to help, like some doctor who got treatment selling drugs for cancers out here telling people, to eat meat where he can get more patients or something. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I mean? That's all I can think of when I hear that type of stuff. But not only him, another guy that I went up against who were saying that disease is caused by brain damage. He said that there is no such thing as disease unless we got brain damage. He said that there's a lesion. He said when in their studies, every time an organ was damaged or a tissue or any area in the body was damaged, there was a corresponding lesion in the brain. Now, that's something we're definitely going to, and I know that sounds new to you, and it threw me for a path. But even though I understood what he was saying, I see where he made his mistakes at. And we're going to have a show dedicated to that. What I just want to tell people in the middle of this, before we go into this, get away from all this, and like they say in the Bible, all this crazy idle talk and all this old wives' fables and all type of superstitional things. You're the cause of your sickness. Stop thinking it's due to some unseen entity. Stop thinking it's because of some, unknown thing, or God is punishing you for some wrong you treated somebody, or the devil is attacking and invading you and all. Well, it's the evil, but not in the sense that you're thinking it, because now you're not doing anything to do right. You thinking that the devil just got it out for you while you continuously eat your donuts because the hot sign was on it, and you over here, drinking your coffee and not drinking water, and you're not eating fruits and vegetables. You're the cause of your own sickness. You're never going to do anything about it long as you don't take responsibility. Long as you keep blaming it on the devil, God, or some unseen entity that the medical people keep telling you invading your body and coming crawling up under your pinky toe and causing you to get sick, then you're never going to take it. You're never going to look at that double chocolate fudge cake on the table as what's hurting your stomach
The,
and
the
causing you
enemy.
problems.
It's the enemy.
You're never gonna see that.
Right.
But you want to share anything with that before we go into the fast?
No, sir. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching it.
Well, we are really advocates of fasting. I've put many people on the fast. You've been right there along with me because you had to talk a lot of people who I used to put on the fast. You had to talk to them every time they called complaining about, little crises they would go through. Uh,
Mhm.
you've witnessed a lot of people go through the fast, and not only that, you fast often yourself, and you put yourself under long fasting as well.
Mhm.
I've done it. I've put people on a fast all the way from how old the lady was that was in your under your mama care. How old she was? She was 90 something, ain't
96, 95, 96, something like that.
and she fasted and started feeling way better from her health issues.
That's a,
I
that's a
had
funny story for a different show.
yes, I know. Hey, I've had the youngest I've ever supervised with a fast was my grandson, which he was 2 years old at the time, and he
Hmm.
had really bad eczema, and he had a big abscess growing out of his stomach, where toxins was just being thrown out of his stomach, and we fasted him, threw him out there in the sun, let the sun draw that poison up out of his body, and we washed him down with distilled water. His skin renewed within record time. I mean, faster than any cortisone cream could have done. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And it was lasting. So that's a good thing there. But about this fast, is fasting something that people should avoid or be scared about? Like, is it some taboo thing? Because when you say it to some people, fasting, you mean, like, who does that? Like, ooh, fasting sounds like something scary.
So was that a question? Because I'd like
That's a
to
question.
I'd like to interview you about the fast, Dr. Frazier, because my answer to everything is always you need to fast. You should
I
my
already know.
my family, my family just like don't even ask her. You know what she gonna say. You know what
Fast.
she gonna say. You need to fast.
Mhm.
My partner told me the other day. He said, I was sitting in that chair, and I know I wasn't sitting down but about. I mean, it wasn't even 5 minutes, and when I got up, he was like, I still felt like I was sitting in the chair and I was aching. I said, "You need to fast." He said, "What that got to do with the chair hurt?" It's not the chair. It's not the chair. You need to
Hey,
fast. Your body is telling you something. You need to fast. But oftentimes, like, and you call me down because when people have their ailments and things like that, and they call me, I always default to fasting. And because you have called me down about it so many times, um, now I'm beginning to default to, okay, well, I know what I think you should do, but tell me what's going on and let me call Dr. Frazier and I'll call you back. Because there's been times where you said, no, this is going on and they shouldn't fast. So you asked the question, should people fast? Because people say, oh no, I can't go a day without eating. Or people think that fasting is from the biblical or spiritual fasting from sun up to sundown, and
right.
those kinds of things,
Do
excuses,
me a
reasons,
favor.
whatever.
Explain what a true fast is for our listeners. What is a true fast?
And true fasting is the decision to not eat, or for me, not drink, for a set amount of time in order to allow the body to regain its vital energy and not activate the digestive system in any way.
Okay, so we're talking from sun up to sundown, or are we talking 24-hour fast?
No, 24 hours. I don't think I've ever fasted less than what I consider fasting. See, I don't think I've ever done it less than 3 days. I don't think you accomplish anything unless you have fasted the body for 3 days. But I mean, technically, I guess a fast is 24 hours of not taking of actually allowing the body to use its energy for the purpose of the body.
Right. Now, 3 day is beautiful. Yeah, 3 day is. I would say a 3 day give a person a chance to fast and not start having the withdrawal symptoms yet. So you can. That's what we do when we do intermittent fasting. Let them do 3 days, and then stop it. break the fast, and let them eat like light fruits and vegetables, and then bring them right back on the fast where they never have to go through that crisis. You know,
Right.
to weak individuals. That's when it's a weak individual. Now,
Excuse me.
if the person got some weight on them and they're youthful, oh, make them run that thing out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
Right. But but really though, when should a person not, because there are times when fasting is not the answer, or
yeah,
there are certain situations or circumstances where one should not fast.
right. Do you know those? Can you
I
share a
don't.
couple of them?
I'm asking you. Well, I think the last person, they were having some kidney failure, kidney issues, and what you told me was that if they fasted, that it would work the kidney too hard.
Yeah.
Was
So
my understanding.
yeah, so the kidneys is one of the main elimination organs in the body. It's one of the main ones. Like even when you go to fasting, your kidneys, you still going to the bathroom urinating like crazy. Matter of fact, urination even become a little more excessive when
More
you're
right,
fasting. But you
right,
don't have bowel movements. Bowel movements
right,
actually
right.
stop, you know. So the kidneys is still active and it goes to work when you go to fasting. But if you got a kidney that has been damaged or is really low in functioning power, then if the body is producing waste to be thrown out of the kidneys, and the kidneys can't keep up with that production, then that waste is going to be circulating in the blood for a long period of time, and it can cause delirium and have other issues start breaking out in the person where they might start having the waste come out through the skin, throughout the eyes. So you might create some, some really unnecessary crises of the body if you have that person fast. Now, what I would do is more like intermittent fasting, or I would do something like, really light eating where it don't, throw a bunch of toxins into the circulatory system. That's what
Mhm.
I would suggest with a person like that. And that would be something like I would have them just like on one fruit, have them just eating watermelons, for like 30 days, or might have them only eating grapes for 30 days, something light like that, and have them eat it in moderation between the hours of 12 and 6. Um, but that's one of the ways. But one another reason why a person shouldn't fast if they're emaciated, if they're really thin, that'll be a reason for them not to fast as well, because they don't have the reserves in their body like a person that got more weight on them. So, not saying that they cannot fast, they just shouldn't do the protracted fast, like a long fast. In other words, their fast should
Right,
be a little shorter, 2 days on, 3 days off, 2 days on, 3 days off, until they build up assimilation power. Because usually why a person is thin is because they're not absorbing and assimilating the food that they are eating. You
right,
see some people who are really thin eating a bunch of food, and you say, why they can't put on no weight? Well, they're not assimilating the food. The food is not being absorbed in their body. All they're doing is pushing it out. All they're making is manure. They're making a manure. That's all they're doing.
hmm hmm hmm
So what you'll do is give that digestive tract a chance to rest, their organs of digestion a chance to rest, like their pancreas, their liver, and all those things that produce enzymes to break down food. All those get a chance to rest, and then as they rest and heal, then when you do eat, those organs and tissues dig into that food and start using that food and assimilating it instead of just sending it out as in what we call dung or manure.
right.
You know what I
Manure.
mean?
Right.
So that's a reason to not do a prolonged fast as well either. But another thing that we don't look at either is women who are breastfeeding. Women who are breastfeeding in their third trimester, or anything, I say the second to the third trimester, I wouldn't allow them to fast because any like going a couple of hours with fasting, with well, I say about half a day or a day fasting while you're pregnant will stop the breast milk from being produced, and it will drastically cut it down and may not even return back when you even start feeding. So I wouldn't have them do that. Or even if they out of, then had the baby and they're still breastfeeding, I wouldn't have them fast as long as they're breastfeeding. because it
Okay.
will dry up the breast milk.
Mhm.
And like I said, it won't return like it's supposed to, if it even returns, if
Right.
it stop altogether. So then they're gonna have to go get a wet nurse, or start going to the cow, or going
Mhm.
to the canned stuff, that Infamil, and whatever the other one is. I
Yeah.
forgot the names.
Good.
But those are
Good.
some reasons that you should stay away from fasting if you're going with that. And furthermore, if you fear to fast, that's the number one thing. If you fear fasting, you definitely should stay away from the fast. That's above all the other ways. What I'm saying? All the other ways might not even be that bad as the fear of the fast. The fear of the fast
Wow.
is the main one to stay away from fasting if you fear the fast. And we
Okay.
know some people that fear the fast, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
I try
So
to encourage them to fast, so I'm glad we had this conversation.
yeah, if they're gonna think they're gonna die from it, it's gonna be a torture for them.
Mhm.
Being a hygienic practitioner, our main thing is being a comforter and a coach. We're not putting our hands on nobody. We're not giving them drugs. We're not doing no type of therapies. Our thing is to comfort and guide these people into a natural path of healing. So we have to have compassion. We have to already know what already know what these people about to be going through, and if they go through it, teach them how to come up out of it victorious.
Right.
Because they're not going to understand why their chest burning. They're going to say, "Oh,
Right.
I'm having a heart attack." You're going to say, "No,
Right.
it's just gas building up, and your body. You're going to burp in just a little while. You're going to be
Right.
okay. You're going to start passing gas, and you're going to be excellent. Just stay the course. Stay the course. You got to talk
Right.
some people off the ledge. In other words, you know what I
Right.
mean." Because they,
Yes,
they
I do.
never they never fasted. They never fasted. They don't. That's why when you go through, if everything in hygiene, it teach you to do it first. You notice how you had to eat fruits and vegetables, how you had to fast, how you had to go out there and get sunlight. Well, you know what it takes for the next person, and you know what they're going to be going through, the struggles that they're going to be going through, and you can help them and take them down that path, towards health. No matter what their disease is, your disease could have been something different, and their disease something different. It doesn't matter. You still got to get fresh air. You still got to eat food properly. You still got to go out there and get sunlight, because it doesn't matter what your disease is. Your body needs the conditions for health. It need to be in the environment where it can grow and repair itself. And the environment is natural hygiene. I'm glad to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm
Right.
saying I'm glad to say that because had we not know it, then I probably wouldn't even be here today. Many of us probably wouldn't be here today. I know a lot of people who've done started practicing natural hygiene, or at least practice it for a time, and allow their body to heal themselves and save their life. They could have been very well gone today. How you feel about that?
Yeah. I've seen you do it. My brother just said to me yesterday, he saw natural hygiene bring daddy back. you know
Hmm.
and so that's why he's practiced. It's interesting to be able to tell people, yeah, my brother's been practicing the principles of natural hygiene for 5 years.
Hmm.
And then they're just kind of like, oh, well, that makes sense, because they know he lost the weight,
Right.
but he's
Right.
not teaching hygiene. He just got a hold to some principles, and he employed them for himself. um,
Wow.
and he does it because, like I said, that's what he said. He saw, natural hygiene and you bring daddy back. Um, yeah,
Well, that's hygiene.
that's yeah. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, and it does, and all the people that we've seen, all it just changing things. The people who came to us for weight loss, just because the doctor says, well, we're going to do that, but you're going to need to lose 20 pounds first, and then they come and we put them on the 20 and 30, and they go back to the doctor and didn't even have diabetes. Not only did they lose the 20 pounds, they
Right.
lost 30
Right.
pounds, 35
Right.
pounds, and no longer, the blood don't test positive for those, whatever it is, for diabetes anymore, and their high blood pressure has gone away, so
You put me in
those
mind of the young lady who we had who came with they gave her the 90 days to live, and she had the heart problem, where they said her heart was working real bad. It was under about 25% working. She was on the heart transplant list, and she fasted for 29 days under our care.
yes.
Um, and they was telling her if she can just get some of that weight off and stuff, they can possibly get her to probably have
Right.
the transplant. But when they went back to her, they found her heart rate had done came back all the way up that she
Right.
didn't need the heart
And didn't
transplant no
need a
more.
heart transplant anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
everything was
So
working good.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's many people who came with one little simple thing we supposed to have been helping them with, and when they left us and went back to the doctor, everything was corrected that
Yeah.
they had.
Like the lady who said her doctor asked her, she's what are you doing? I need to do what you're doing. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder why we didn't see her. Why she never came through.
And she the conflict. There's
Right.
there's a conflict, Doc. There is a conflict. Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time here, and we're going to have to cut this short. But we have not yet even begun to dig into our teachings on fasting. So this may carry on a couple of more weeks, and I'm glad you're going to be here to help me teach all about fasting, because you're guru to me when it comes to fasting. I know you might think I'm a guru, but you're guru to me when it comes to fasting. And
I'm glad to
like
hear
I
you
said,
say
I
that.
know you have coached a lot of people into it and watched a lot of people, so you know about it.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of people that we got to help, and we got to encourage them to get into holistic health and healing. So I want to thank you for being up here with me, and being here with me, not just up here. I'm talking about being with me since we begun this thing. You know what I'm saying? The crying in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And I really do thank you. Everybody, this is Minister Michaela of Natural Hygiene, the Minister
Yeah.
of Health.
Yeah.
There is a church,
Yeah. The minister
called the
of-
Church of Hygeia now. You know that?
Amen. No.
There's a church. There's a
No,
church
I didn't
called the
know.
Church of Hygeia.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. But I want to say this before the show is over. Just a couple of things. Fasting will not kill you. You will not fast if you don't eat today. If you don't eat tomorrow, you're not going to die. It's not going to hurt you. Fruit is not the cause of your disease, and it is okay for you to turn your plate down. And it's one of the fastest ways for the body to begin to heal itself. So if you're going through anything, just do consider, not eating that. And in the time that you would be eating something, study a little something about fasting, and study something about your biology, your body, and how your body works.
A prolonged fast, definitely get with a supervisor or someone who knows about fasting. Don't go on a fast or long fast by yourself, especially if you're taking medications or anything like that. Seek out help where people can help you, do it while you're getting off these medications. So best of health and happiness, and we'll see you next week.
Best health.
Like this.